really quick for those of you you may know, but I do want to. I think you know Brett at this point. Leslie joined our team about I don't know a little over 2 months ago. Um, she's in a role that we call sales admin, and she and I were actually just talking this morning. It's a little bit in flux, but she's basically kind of stepping in to provide some support to our sales team that includes myself and Brett and then Buck. And we'll talk about this a little bit later, but one of the encouragements Brett gave me was there are several positions that we'll be looking to hire probably in 24. So we'll talk about that towards the end. But um, yeah, so that's Leslie. And first, I just want to thank everybody for being here. This is the first time we've ever done anything like this, so bear with us. This is very much meant to be not formal. I think you probably learned that about us over time. The idea here is just to look back a little bit on 2023. But before we do that, in terms of the partner series, before we do that though, we kind of want to. Brett said it really well yesterday. I thought, and I'm just going to use what he said because it was great, which is, throughout the year, the partner series, the whole idea behind the partner series is that we pick partners who are phenomenal partners to us to present to you. And what we're thinking is in December, we want to kind of present ourselves as a partner to you. And we want to make sure that you understand some of the things that we're doing, some of the tools that are available to you, in particular on the website, to do that. So let's jump in and show you some things. And part of that, so that you don't feel like I baited and switched you, is we're going to look back on the 2023 partner series, just a quick gloss over to look back at the partners we had, talk a little bit about what we liked about particular ones. And I would love any feedback. I'll say this up front. If you be thinking, either throughout the conversation or at the end, we're looking for feedback. I'll say it's very likely we're going to follow up with each of you and everyone else that's a customer to kind of fill out a survey on the partner series. We're looking to continually improve it. And we'll point out some little things that we did towards the end of the year to try to do just that. So with that, I'm going to share my screen here. Actually, Leslie, I might need you to make it, since you're the host, I might need you to let me share my screen. I don't know if anybody, while she's doing that, and I think you just go to, what is it, participants, and then allow me to share. But I might also just reclaim host, but I don't know if you guys have visited our new website, but a big part of what I want to show you today is just some of the thinking behind the updated and refreshed website and some of the tools that we think will be very valuable, especially as we build them out further. No luck, Leslie?
Forgive me, I had to let two people in real quickly.
Okay. Yeah, no worries.
Maybe if I make you the host again, will it turn off the recording? Sorry, because it wasn't giving me an option to let you share. Sorry.
That is a really good question. Tell you what.
Oh, actually, it says you're recording now. So
okay, that's good.
That works.
Yep. All right. Very good. All right, everybody. Sorry for the hiccup there. Here we go. Can you see our website?
Beautiful. Yes.
All right. So, like I said, I don't know if you visited our website recently. The general look and feel of the site is similar, and it's been similar for a while now, but we did make some recent changes that I want to point out. So one of them is just generally, I want to reiterate our view is that we are a partner to you. And I think what I would say I mean by that is, and I hope that a lot of people on this call and those who will listen to it in the future have experienced it on some level, that, we say a lot that everybody does well when things go well, but you really find out whether you have a partner when things don't go well. And we pride ourselves on at a base level being a partner, meaning if we make a commitment, the only way we're not going to keep that commitment is something outside of our control. It's going to keep us from doing that. Everything inside of our control will be exercised to the fullest extent to make sure that we follow through. And then just a quick review is we see ourselves as your partner to help you build your brand with your customers and employees using branded clothing and promotional items. There's some different copy on the website that you'll see and some different messaging with that. Um, but this is the homepage. And what I really wanted to draw attention to is just, and this is something that we also, I think, work hard and are continuing to work hard to refine is our process of how we do business and how we make sure that we create a repeatable process so that we deliver on the things that you guys give us the opportunity to help with. Um, I'm going to jump over. We've spent a lot of time lately talking about that we understand that we help most companies and organizations engage employees and customers. Yes, we sell clothing and products, but it's important that we reinforce that we understand generally that that's most of the time where we're focused is helping our customers better engage with these two groups. A quick broad review of the things that we do, the clothing, the supplies. If you're not aware, we do the online shops. We do kits and packaging and hold and fulfill product. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, but again, just to reiterate some of the service lines that we have. We'll jump into collections. So we say a lot that, and this also is connected to the partner series, which is a lot of our industry doesn't have a product problem. There's lots of products and there's lots of places to find them. One of the challenges is clearing away the noise and focusing on subsets so that it's manageable, so that it's easier to make a decision. And that curation is a big part of what we do. And when you come to us with requests, we're going to spend time looking at the partners that we prefer and sending and showing options that we know you can rely on that company and that product, but also any and all products that they have. We're taking it a step further, and we're actually trying to create collections here that are subsets of products. I'd say products, themes, or use cases. You probably seen some of this in the newsletters that have gone out, but this is our current holiday collection. This was our team working together and sort of crowdsourcing, if you will, what we feel like were the best ideas to present to you for holiday gift ideas, just to create to provide some creative inspiration. And again, we would love any and all feedback on how we're kind of handling this process. But you can see if you go to the website, these collections can be seen at the top here. And you can see currently we have 6 collections and we're underway on a lot more. The idea here is not that these collections would serve necessarily 100% of use cases out there. But what we do want to make sure of is that when someone comes to us and asks us for a tumbler or a pin, we realize they don't want to look at tens or hundreds or, in some cases, if you go to some online search tools, thousands of options. You want to see a subset of 10 to 20 that either we love, our team loves, or that we've sold and we know that our customers have loved. Products that we can stand behind and kind of show you with confidence. And that's what these are. And this is going to grow. This is a section that we think and hope will be really valuable to you as you use it. If you have thoughts and feedback, let us know. Brett, is there anything you want to add on collections?
No, I think it's ideally it's a small subset of things right now. And one of our taglines is never look through a catalog again. So we are trying to make sure that whenever we're building these out, we don't want it to feel like a giant list of catalogs that we're building out, but it's just this idea of this best of the best collection that you can, as you're coming up or as you have events or needs or ideas or things like that come up internally, it's one of these things you can just kind of hover over to the collection section, just kind of peruse around and see what's new, what's tried and true, the best of the best in each one of these categories. It's something that we're going to try to stay on top of and keep fresh and accurate and all those fun things. And we're even still trying to think about the best way to present these items so that they have the most impact for you guys whenever you're utilizing them. But no, it's exciting stuff. And you know that when you go there, you can trust that what's in there is good stuff.
Yeah, no, and I think it's a great point to draw the distinction between, our tagline of not looking through catalogs. We're definitely not trying to create catalogs. It's more of, that hand-picked set of items to draw your attention to. The next thing we kind of rolled out, and this is also another area of the site that is going to be growing. We're going to be adding a lot of these. We realize that another thing that folks we find struggle with is the idea of like something my dad always said over the years is that this industry is full of solutions searching for problems. And so there's lots of cool items and options out there for you to use. And sometimes you see something and you're like, I love that, but how would I use it? How would I use it to better engage my employees? How would I use it to better engage my customers? So the thought process behind, again, and this is not, there's a lot of companies out there that do case studies and things like this, but what we're trying to do is come at it from the perspective of what was a use case where we provided something and how did it work. And I would also say everyone on this call, we would love and we'll be reaching out to you in some instances when we complete projects to feature some of the projects that we do with you to make sure that we understand. And I'll click into one here. This is a company here in Louisville. We did these pullovers and some other clothing for their trade show. They hadn't done this before. Again, this is not uncommon. Like there's a lot of companies that make sure that they have uniforms for events like this. But it was the first time they did it. And they came back to us and just said that the result, the feeling of team within the group, the recognition of people at the show that these folks were with Strategic, the impact of it was huge. And that's their words, not ours. And so again, what we're trying to do is focus on, okay, what was the need? You came to us with a need. What was that? What was the solution and how did it work out? And that'll be the format for these kinds of things. And our hope is that what this starts to do is it becomes a place that you can come and go, oh, we have a similar use case. And it's interesting to see how this company addressed that. Go ahead, Brett.
Yeah, or not only that, but it's just you get to see how other people are utilizing this stuff to build their brand. And so again, while we're not trying to create catalogs or things like that, we do want to still be a resource that, like, if you don't know what you're looking, sometimes you don't know what you're looking for until you see it. Where if you come over here and you take a look at the collections or you take a look at some case studies, you can be like, oh, what a unique way to build your brand. This actually ties directly into this initiative that we've been talking about that we had no clue what to do. And so it's just a fun way for us to kind of post some stuff on here. And to Landon's point, we may be reaching out to some of you throughout the year as we do really cool projects and products for you guys that are building your brand. If you guys are comfortable with it, of course, so that we can kind of share it and utilize it as a catalyst for other people who may be looking for some inspiration.
Next site, or the next part of the site I want to show you, and this is something that I've been doing now. It's hard for me to believe I've been doing the podcast, and I hope everybody on the call is aware of it. But if not, would love for you to give some episodes a listen. And I've said it to our staff. I would love any feedback that you have for me on me as an interviewer or anything if you do listen to it. But the point of the Brand Herald podcast is to just really explore the concept of branding. So I've done, like I said, I'm getting ready to start. I think it's my third season, or I may be finishing up my third season, getting ready to start my fourth. Do an episode a month. It's a combination, guests are a combination of customers. So again, I might be reaching out to you. Some of you on this call have been guests, which I appreciate. And the conversation is really about the concept of branding, which we find is so, if you ask 10 people to define brand, you're going to get 10 different answers. It's a really interesting topic that I think a lot of people think that they understand, but a lot of times they don't. And so what I'm doing is having conversations with leaders, customers, leaders in branding to explore that. And not only to try to get a better understanding of what is brand, but what is the role of clothing and promotional items and the things that we do in building a brand. This month we'll be releasing an episode with a lady named Lisa Siebert, she runs an agency here in Louisville. Really great conversation. You see here the episode with Kate Mayswich, she's with commonsku, which is the platform that we use to manage our business. She is their VP of marketing. And we had a great conversation around branding too. And then you'll see a couple folks that are customers in this case, but would love for you to give it a listen. If you haven't been a guest, I'll be potentially reaching out to see if you'd be willing to be a guest. And if you've got anybody that you know that you think is an expert or excellent in branding, I would love to be connected or have an introduction, because I'd love to do an interview with them. This has been fun. This is something that's very much, I think, my heart, and I've enjoyed doing it. And we're going to continue to do it. And at some point, I'd love to be doing even more than one a month. But and finally, we're going to get to partner series, which is what brought you here. If you haven't, a lot of you join and spend time live each month with us. But I do want to make sure that you know every episode, every partner series is posted on our website here under partner series. And so really quick, Brett, I had asked you yesterday just to kind of walk down memory lane, so to speak. I'm going to let you just talk through, and you'll see they're just organized by month. And we were just going to quickly review this. So if you would you just talk through, Brett, maybe some of these that jumped out to you and some of the ones that you really enjoyed?
Yeah, so this month is obviously very different. And for some of you guys, this is the first time you ever joined a partner series, and you're like, what the heck is this? This is not what I signed up for, what I thought it was going to be based on like all the conversations I've had with Landon and Brett about partner series up to this point. But you can see here, so normally how we go about this is we bring on partners that we consider partners, or vendors that we consider partners, and vendors that we have done several rounds of work with historically and have loved them, and we want to bring them on so they can showcase their unique products and things like that. And then after we do the partner series call with them, we post it here to the site. And as far as my favorites over the past year, it would probably be the Hirsch gift one, the one that we just did most recently, right there at the top. If you click open into that one, this was the first one that we actually whenever we were posting this, as you scroll down, Landon, if you kind of scroll down a little bit, this is the first one.
So let me jump in because I think I want to show them how we did it before. So just to give them context. So if we go all the way back to Storm Creek, which was the first one of 2023, you'll see that we gave a very brief explanation and then really just posted the video. But what we've realized is, we start with an understanding that your time is really valuable. And so, sometimes within your own company, you can get to thinking that, hey, we're going to do partner series and people are just going to join because they're just going to be interested in all of these things. But there's a couple things we realized. One is we need to do a better job of providing context as to why we've chosen this partner and why we think it'd be worth your time to join and listen to what they have to offer. And second is that we provide additional context on what we went over in the presentation, just in case you just need to get to information and don't want to watch the video. So now, Brett, I'll turn it over back to you. So here's kind of what you were alluding to. And this is one of those changes that we made late in 23 and we intend to carry forward into 24.
Yeah, so basically, if you missed the partner series or if you were on the partner series, once we post it to the website, this is going to be a really good resource for you to kind of quickly digest everything that was talked about within these individual links that are in there. So you can either go back and watch the video if you have some time, or if you don't have time, you can be like, oh, okay, these are the things that are spoken about within. And I have sent this particular link to probably 10 different clients over the past month that were not able to join, that I said, it's totally okay. We're in the gifting season. They want to see gifting ideas. I say, hey, we just had a really good gift supplier on here. If you don't know where to start, take a look at these items in this presentation. They have great brands, things like that. Same with, we just did one with Terrytown. So a lot of people wanting to gift blankets or something of the like for the holiday season. I can say, oh, that's great. Take a look at Terrytown. There's the video that we did, and we went through a flip catalog of all their new like stuff that's coming up for this holiday season.
So to Brett's point, in this case, we didn't list all the individual items, but we linked to the catalog that she went through, and here it is.
Yeah, and then in this particular catalog, it's set up to where if you click on an item, it takes you to. See, if you hover over an item, or I think you kind of have to get past this page, but once you get into the actual catalog itself, you can actually click on the item and it will take you to the item page on their site. And then the video link will show where she actually went through the catalog, describe each one of these things and all the things that you were looking at. So it was a really unique way to go about it for this particular partner series.
I think, what I would say is, the feedback we get from you that join and spend time on this is that it's been worth your time. And so us believing that it's worth your time is not because we believe it, it's because that's what you've told us. So, but we want to make sure that that's still the case. And we also want to make sure we're building more value into it. I think that the other comment I would make about the partnership, one of them that stuck out to me is I remember the Power Stick one. As a matter of fact, I remember because I was driving back, Brett hosted that for me. And I was driving back from a meeting with a client and was just kind of participating on the phone in the car. And I just remember the excitement around Power Stick. And what was so interesting to me about this is getting down into the weeds a little bit is we brought Power Stick in because we loved the rep that we had met. They had been very responsive, indicated they really wanted to support our efforts to show their product to you. We brought them onto the presentation. A lot of the items resonated. There was a lot of requests for samples, mock-ups, interactions during the call and after the call. And after the fact, we had a lot of opportunities that we sent to Power Stick. It was, to me, almost like a master class, or if that's the right way to say it, or a case study on what ultimately the partner series should be. And then there were several more like that. And what we continually find is that everybody gets excited and they definitely come away with an idea or two that they didn't see before, that they feel like they can make use of. Let me pull all this together a little bit for you. That the idea here is that our view and our vision for what we're trying to do at Goodson is build a community. And it's a community of people who care a lot about their brand, care about leveraging it to engage employees and customers, and they want to find the best ways to do that. And while we sell clothing and products, at the end of the day, we see ourselves as your partner to make that happen. And our job is to go out and create resources to get things in front of you efficiently to help you to do that. And so, another kind of improvement and something we're trying to make sure that we do better in 24 is make all this stuff work together really well. What I mean by that is you're going to do these, we're going to do 9 virtual partner series, and I'm getting ready. We're excited to kind of show you what the lineup is for 24. We're going to do 9 virtual partner series in 24, just like we did in 23. There will be 2 partner series live events, one in April and one in September of 24. And the people that you see on the virtual events, in any case that we can, where it's feasible for them to travel, will be at our live event. And so what we're trying to do is make sure that you get the opportunity to see a lot of things from that partner. And if they're able to make it to an event, then you'll actually be able to see those things in person and make sure that all the things that we're doing are working together and complementing each other, and make it so that it makes sense and there's context. It's easy to understand, and ultimately is providing value to you to make sure that you're finding things to engage those groups. And I hope that makes sense. And I'm excited about it because we have a lot of improvements that we're making in 24. A lot of what you've seen here with the things we've shown, we literally just rolled those out in Q4. Our foundation's built. Now we get to go and create more collections, create more case studies, and post and improve the partner series. With that, I want to show you. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to share again and show you our lineup. Go ahead.
For anybody on this call that has been on previous partner series, if anybody has had a favorite partner series that they were part of, or if they did a product as a result from a partner series that they just loved, or what have you, I'd love to hear that in the chat box, or unmute, or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah, that's a great question. I got on a roll there, and people are probably glossing over listening to me talk, but I would love to hear any feedback you got.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Taylor just said Power Stick. Well, she sent it directly to me, but she said Power Stick, and they ended up doing a desk steel charge, which I think was funny. So we had Power Stick on as the virtual, and then we had them at our live show in fall. And then Taylor was walking around. I think if I recall correctly, she saw the item, loved it, took it back to her team, and then they loved it. And they just did a big order of them for their team. And they've gotten a ton of really great feedback from it. So again, you got this idea of like virtual, saw the guy, you understood what Power Stick was, and you see the booth in person, then you've kind of got like this cohesive unit. And then, yeah, so it's really great. That's exactly kind of how we want it to go down.
Yeah, appreciate that, Taylor. And if you got anything, pop it in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and share our lineup for 24, and I want to talk through that a little bit. Everybody see this?
Yes.
All right. So you're going to see some familiar names here that we've had in the past that are very much our go-tos for certain product categories. And then you're going to see some new ones. But what we want to do here is, and this is part of us doing a better job of providing, why are we bringing these people on? Why would it be worth your time to come? In January, around the 10th or the 11th, Mike Contreras with ETS Express is going to come back on with us. I think it's probably clear to everybody on the call and everybody listening, ETS is our go-to for drinkware. There's a lot of places you can get drinkware in our industry, but in terms of an eye for retail design, quality, and imprint quality, and the bottle that Brett just took a drink out of is from them. And you probably have gifts from us through previous partner series. And I'm also going to talk a little bit about the change of how we're doing the kits and kind of the benefit of coming. They're a go-to for us, and we're excited to have him back. Mike's a phenomenal partner, hugely supportive of us, responsive, helps with samples. Just a fantastic partner. A new one, and Brett, I want you to talk about them. Pop Promos with Amanda Jones. They're going to be here. Now, they will not be, I don't think they're going to be able to be at our live in April, but we're excited to bring them to you. And Brett, will you talk a little bit about them?
Yes, Pop Promos is one that specializes in some really fully custom items, if you will. And when it gets to the world of fully custom, it can get really overwhelming really quickly. And they have figured out a way to make it not so overwhelming. And they do some really great full color stuff. We've done several rounds of products for them for a client of ours out of Virginia, and everything that we've seen from them has been great, and their responsiveness is great. Again, we feel like they are a partner and they care about getting it right as much as we do for our client.
Yeah.
And so yes, that makes them a great candidate for this.
Another new one is Toddy Gear in March. We haven't had them on. We haven't done much with them. We've liked them for a while. I know Brett even, as a matter of fact, I might even let you talk about them again because you kind of advocated for them because you like some of the stuff that they have. Again, kind of unique. They've been Amanda's been excellent responsive. We did a presentation with them internally, which again is very common. A lot of times, we're obviously having interactions with them, seeing the things they can present to us and deciding if it makes sense to present them to you. Go ahead, Brett.
Yeah, so I just shared a link to Pop Promos for anybody that's interested in kind of scheduling out their year. They wanted to kind of click up in there and see what Pop Promos was about. Maybe I share the right thing. I shared it to a luggage tag. I don't know, but you can figure out how to get up in there. But then so Toddy Gear. Okay, thanks. But Toddy Gear is another spot that has been kind of like lurking around in our space for a while, and I keep seeing them. But again, if I don't have a relationship with a particular event, I'm going to share a link to Toddy Gear as well, so you guys kind of take a look at that. Toddy promo. But yeah, so it's a situation in which they've got a bunch of really unique items, but we did not historically have a great relationship or a person that we could lean on. And so if I don't know you, or if we don't have any sort of relationship, a lot of times you become sort of in the back of my mind when it comes time to curating items and things like that. So I know Aaron just asked me for some ideas for an upcoming event that they have in March. And so if I'm thinking through a list of vendors that for a particular category that she's wanting to see ideas for, if I don't have an over-the-top relationship with you, I may or may not think of you when it comes time to sending stuff. And so now we have just recently established a relationship, had a great call with her not so long ago, and are really excited to showcase some of the really unique things that they've got going on over there at Toddy Promo or at Toddy Gear.
And I would say, I think the key on that is, we hope, relationship is extremely important with us, but we work really hard to build with you. We really almost require that with the vendors that you see here. We've built relationships with all of these people, and we're very upfront with them that, like, honestly, we have to kind of have a person that we can build a relationship with to help facilitate the things that we're going to do in order to have an opportunity to really do business with our customers. So you can really take to the bank every name you see here. We have a relationship with. Our Spring Partner Series Live is going to be in April, so keep an eye out for communication on that. I believe it's April 4th. We'll do it here in Louisville. I realize some of the folks on the call are not in Louisville. One of the things I would say is that reach out to us. We've worked with some clients out of town a few times to try to help facilitate and even cover some cost to make that happen. So we'd be happy to have that conversation and see if there'd be something we can do to get you here. Yep. Following that, we're going to go back to Power Stick. We're excited to bring them back. As we mentioned, they've done a lot of great things for us. In June, it says PCNA. I'll acknowledge PCNA probably didn't mean a lot when you see it. In reality, it's the company that now owns some names that you might be familiar with: Leeds, Bullet Line, and several other brands. There has been a lot of consolidation on the supplier side, but Bridget, in this case, we've built a great relationship with her. She's very supportive, and they've got a lot of great products and a lot of great brands. Which I'll talk about here in a second, because we definitely continue to see. We were talking about Stanley early on the call. There is a definite continued movement to merge kind of our space with retail brands, people finding things they like in their personal life and in a retail brand that they really like, and then wanting to bring that to their customers. In July. Go ahead, Brett.
They're rocking Stanley, Hydro Flask, Camelback, Bose, a bunch of higher end brands if you're looking for that. But then they're also a great resource for things that kind of look like the brand names, but are just a little bit cheaper for you. More budget.
Yeah, and I was to your point, actually, if I jump back, ETS, they've really been jumping into the brand game too. So one of the things I noticed, and some people, Owala is a brand they just rolled out. I didn't know much about Owala, but like my daughters had Owala bottles, and I see them everywhere now. So that's a brand that we have, and then they also have some other brands as well. So these suppliers are understanding the same trends, and they're jumping in and making sure to offer brands wherever they can. In July, we're going to bring back Visions Awards. We had them last year. We were excited. the award space is something that we probably haven't done as much of as some other companies in our space. There's still a place for it. Envisions there not only is Justin a phenomenal partner, but they take a very creative approach to awards.
Yep.
Hirsch Gift, not much to say about Hirsch. We love Hirsch. We love everything about Hirsch. They've got all the brands and it starts kind of with JBL, and they've built from there. And then in September, we're moving it slightly later. I think we did it in August this year, but felt just a touch early. We're pushing a little bit past Labor Day into September for our Fall Partner Series Live. And again, the theme, I should have said this before, remember the theme of the Spring Partner Series is meetings and events, because that's essentially what most folks are planning at that time of year. And then the Fall Partner Series shifts to more of a focus on customer and employee gifts, which is why we put Hirsch before, and then Gemline comes after, which Gemline is also an excellent partner. I've worked with Jeff and with some different lines over the years. Great guy. And Gemline also has a lot of brands and products. Actually, Brett, we could pull that up, and even as I'm moving forward, we could talk a little bit about some of the brands that they have. I know like Osprey is one that they have. They have Mirror, which a lot of you may be familiar with Mirror, and several others.
Yeah.
In November, we're bringing Swanky Badger. Interesting name, we'll acknowledge, but if you put a link out, we'll get a link out to these partners as well, and this will be in the recap. Swanky Badger's got a lot of really cool stuff, and we used them quite a bit this Christmas season or this holiday season. And I think the more I worked with them, the more I liked them. And I really wish Mark could come, but unfortunately they're in California. So right now he's just, and his schedule is so tight. He told me he doesn't think he'll be able to come in September. We're working on it, but at the very least, we're going to bring them for a virtual. Talk about Swanky Badger, Brett, because I know that we've kind of laughed about the name is interesting, but the products are really excellent.
Yeah, I mean, like if you look at, I mean, it's very swanky. I'd say it's very like sort of like, I don't know, Mad Men-ish kind of thing to like marketing. I don't know. It's hard to describe it, but feel free to take a look around. I just posted a link to the Swanky Badger site. But they've got some cast iron skillets. We've got a bunch of just like leathery, sort of like feel good, warm, like stuff that's just like really cool, that gifts really well to just about anybody. And the decanter sets are absolutely fantastic. Those were I had a couple of those at our live show that resulted in some orders. And then I know we just did.
I'm just going to do this really quick. I'm not going to do this with everyone. Don't worry, because we're coming up against time, but I thought this would be good to give you a visual.
Yeah, but we just did some of these branded cast iron skillets for a client of ours. Not sure how they turned out. You haven't got any feedback on those yet, but we just did some of those. The branded whiskey decanter sets, just did some of those for another client. And then some of the mouse pads we did for a construction company out here that were just wanting to do a lower end gift to kind of show some appreciation. That that mouse pad right there, the branded mouse pad, did that for a construction company. And everybody's loved it. It's been great stuff. But the branded glass,
and the minimums are one.
The minimums are one piece. Yes, they are one piece.
The skillets turned out fantastic.
Oh, awesome!
Very
Thanks,
well
Justin.
received.
Nice. Okay, good deal.
We need to get a picture of that for sure. Like that needs to be a case study for sure.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, so they have different things, really cool items, and it's one of those things where I think we're going to have it towards the end of the year because it feels more gifty-ish. And that's another thing. Whenever we are thinking about scheduling these things out, we try to schedule it out around the seasons, around when trade show events are going to happen, when people are going to be needing drinkware, more or less getting into warmer seasons, all that kind of stuff. We try to schedule it out and think through when and how we're going to be presenting these things to you in a method that, or in a manner that makes the most sense.
Yeah, no doubt. And then next year we plan to do this again, and we're gonna. I'm sure this one will not be the greatest, and we're gonna really talk about it and make the review next year even better. So that's really all that we had for you. I wanted to pause a little bit and give everybody the opportunity to like unmute, make comments, ask questions. Would love any feedback and any thoughts that you have on how we can improve this, or really just anything that you want to share.
Yeah.
Justin, I appreciate you saying that about the pans. I'm always and those types of fun and unique projects are things that we don't always do a good job of showing, because it's like, who would just naturally think of a cast iron skillet? It's just not something that, would occur to you sometime.
maybe a
Yeah.
divorced woman's support group.
Touche.
I don't
I
know.
think
Yeah.
I think the pans are really cool for like realtors for like a thank you gift. I think that's an awesome idea. If I don't
Yeah.
mean I don't think we have any realtor clients yet, but I think that's a cool gift to give as a thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
You know,
Landon, did you want to circle back on the new process for the gifts that
Oh yeah. So I know there's some people dropping off. I understand, and you got to get back to your day. But so in the past, you know that we've sent out the partner series kits. Um, we've kind of discontinued that because we found that while I think people like them and appreciate them, that wasn't doing a good job of necessarily giving people items in the context to help use it for their own purposes. And so what we're trying to do is divert to where when we do these event, and we were also leaning on our partners in that case to help us with some of the products that we were sending to you. We're going to shift, and the partners that we bring on, they're going to make offers to do obviously samples and free spec samples whenever possible. So a spec sample is not, you know, a sample, just an item either blank or with some random logo that they've printed previously. A spec sample is an item with your logo and your imprint. And we found those to be hugely valuable and quite a bit more valuable than a lot of the other approaches that we've taken. So we're going to shift our efforts and our resources to saying, look, instead of giving us a bunch of things that they may like, but they may not have interest in, let's shift and make sure we focus on when you come and see, for example, Mike Contreras in January with ETS. If you see a product or two that you love, not only will we get you a sample, but we're going to be able to work with Mike to try to work with him to get some spec samples done so that you can actually see the product with your logo. And hopefully then we're just moving closer to something that you're excited to actually use to engage your customers and employees. And we will do that throughout the year. And that will be our focus in 24, doing that. Go ahead, Brett.
Yeah. And as much as people love the Goodson brand, I do think you have to tell me if you're wrong. Probably just tired of being inundated with Goodson swag from all that they get from the shows at our table, and then on a monthly basis, all that stuff. And so we just wanted to kind of shift that. Mallory said never. We just wanted to kind of shift that back to you guys, because the whole reason that you guys are there are to learn and see interesting products. And if we can get you a spec sample of something that you think may work well for your own individual use case, then why not put your logo on it so that you can present it to your internal team and say, look, I came across this item. Here's how I was thinking about branding it. You think it could work? Here's a finished piece to show the committee or whoever's in the decision-making room at that time. So really excited about where we're going, or the direction that we're headed for those, for sure, for the gifting at least.
Very good.
And we do want to just like show it as just like an appreciation for joining, right? Like we're trying to increase the engagement that we're getting here. And what's interesting is that the names that are joining on a consistent basis are showing up on a consistent basis. And so that shows that whenever we can get somebody, you know, on the call, that you guys are obviously finding some benefit from it. And so we are trying to increase engagement across the board, and really just appreciate all the time and effort you guys spend to make it on each show.
Yeah, I say it all the time. You guys have we all have tons of emails and tons of opportunities to do things. So we are very, very focused on making sure that when you spend time on stuff with us, that it's valuable, and we're really open to any and all feedback that you have for us to continue to improve that. Last thing, I'm gonna let you get going. We're 10:43. I'm gonna let you out of here 10:45, unless you leave on your own, which is obviously your choice. Bottom of our website, there is. I'm gonna go back. At the very bottom, you're gonna see a little link here that says jobs. We currently have and are looking for these positions. And we're going to be looking for an embroidery operator, because something else that is exciting that we're doing is we're going to go ahead and set up our own, and we're working on building out our own in-house decoration department to serve specifically our online shops, which we're working to continue to improve and compress timelines. I only put this out there to say, if you've got people that are looking, we would love for you to send them our way. These are three of the positions. We'll be posting the production positions soon. And you can drive people here, and we would love to have a conversation with anybody that you think might be a good fit for us. And with that, I just want to thank you for your time. Thanks for making this a great year. We really appreciate each of you. And we really hope that you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we'll look forward to seeing you in January.
Absolutely. Thank you guys very much for your time. And go enjoy your PTO if you've got it.
See you, Aaron. Thanks for being here. Everybody, thanks for coming.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much.